They say real love doesn't demand perfection. It embraces flaws with patience. Let me tell you a story. Michael was the kind of man who lived by routine. Wake up at 6. Same breakfast every morning. The kind of person who never forgot to pay a bill on time. Reliable, steady, predictable. Ifeoma, on the other hand, was his complete opposite. She was fire and laughter. Always a little late. Always bursting with new ideas. If Michael was a neat spreadsheet, Ifeoma was a canvas splash with every color. They met at a wedding. Michael was adjusting his tie, trying not to look nervous. Ifeoma walked in late, her heels in one hand, still laughing about the traffic. To him, she was color in a black and white world. Somehow, against all his usual caution, he walked up to her, and words just flowed. They exchanged numbers. Soon they were spending long nights talking about everything. Life, dreams, fears. At first, their differences felt magical. She brought him out of his shell. He gave her calm when life got too loud. But the same differences that drew them together also started pulling them apart. Michael couldn't stand the chaos she lived in. Unfinished projects, messy spaces, forgotten dates. Ifeoma felt suffocated by his need for order. She wanted to be loved, not managed. One night, after a fight, she sat on the edge of the bed with tears running down her face. And she said, "You keep waiting for me to be perfect, Michael. But I'm not. I'll never be. If love only works when I stop making mistakes, maybe I'm not the one for you." Those words cut him deep. He couldn't sleep that night. Lying in the dark, he heard echoes of his father's voice, a man who never let mistakes slide, who believed love had to be earned by being good enough. And suddenly, Michael realized he was becoming that same voice for Ifeoma. The next day, he did something unusual. He bought a small notebook. On the first page, he wrote, "I will love without demanding perfection." Every day, he jotted something he appreciated about her. Her laughter that filled a room. Her courage to speak her mind. Her way of turning any dull space into something alive. And on the days she frustrated him, he went back to that notebook, reminded himself why he chose her in the first place. Little by little, things began to change. Instead of focusing on her flaws, he started to see the beauty in them. The chaos wasn't irresponsibility. It was creativity in motion. Her lateness wasn't carelessness. It was her way of living fully in every moment. And the more patience he showed, the more his love deepened. Ifeoma noticed too. She saw how he stopped criticizing, how he listened more, how he reached for her hand even after disagreements. And that softened her. She started appreciating his steadiness, his calm, the security he brought. She began trying harder, not because he demanded it, but because she felt safe in his love. Years later, at their wedding, Michael said something no one expected from a man as reserved as him. Looking into her eyes, he said, "You taught me love is not about finding perfection. It's about finding patience, about choosing each other every day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard." There wasn't a dry eye in the room, because everyone knew their love wasn't a fairy tale built on perfect moments. It was real. It had been tested, and it endured because they learned to embrace each other's flaws with patience. And that's the truth we often forget. We live in a world obsessed with perfect, the perfect partner, the perfect relationship, the perfect life. But real love doesn't exist in perfect. Real love lives in the mess, in the arguments that end with "I'm sorry," in the quiet decision to stay when walking away would be easier. So maybe you're like Michael, expecting too much. Or maybe you're like Ifeoma, afraid you'll never be enough. Wherever you are, remember this. Real love doesn't demand perfection. It chooses patience. Because in the end, love isn't about painting the perfect picture. It's about building a life together, one beautifully imperfect day at a time. And maybe that's a reminder someone you know needs right now. So share this story with them. If it resonated with you the way Michael and Ifeoma's journey resonated with me, let me know in the comments. What did their story stir in you? What has love taught you about patience? If these words touched you, give this video a like. It helps more people find stories that matter. And if you'd like to keep walking with me through more stories like this, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss the next one. Because love, just like these stories, grows when we share it.